Thanks so much for tuning into this part of the Gentle Parenting series. If you haven't already, please watch my first video in the series called Gentle Parenting, 4 Tips that Promote a Peaceful Family Dynamic before this one, so you can get a full understanding of how I view tantrums and discipline. The link to that video is in the description box below. The next question is, how do you handle tantrums? So I want to read a couple quotes. Tantrums are not bad behavior. Tantrums are an expression of emotion that became too much for the child to bear. No punishment is required. What your child needs is compassion and safe, loving arms to unload in. That's by Rebecca Eanes. And the next one is, when little people are overwhelmed by big emotions, it's our job to share their calm, not join their chaos. That's by L.R. Nost. Even in a public setting, if my child's having a tantrum, I do not punish him. I hold him and tell him I love him to help him calm down. Wouldn't you want that if you were upset? Because we all get upset and lose our cool sometimes. For instance, like if I lose my cool and I'm really upset, what do I need? Do I need my husband to like yell at me to punish me? Or do I need him to hug me and tell me everything's gonna be okay and that he loves me? That's what I need. And I know that's what my children need. And even though it's embarrassing, who cares what people think? Most of the time, I honestly think most people, if they see you hugging your child who's having a tantrum, that is way less embarrassing than people looking at you trying to handle a situation in a way where you're screaming at your child and just being really harsh with him. That looks way worse to me, and that kind of makes me cringe when I look at that. But if I see a mother hugging her child who's having a hard time, that just like makes me feel so at peace. That, I don't know about you, but that for me, that's what it feels. If removing him from where you're in will help calm the situation, then do that, and you can gauge best by what you know your child needs about whether you should just stay exactly where you're at. If this is just like public settings obviously, but like about whether you should stay exactly where you're at or if you need to like go outside to get some fresh air. And hugging and unloading, like letting your child unload on you, that is not passive parenting. Passive parenting would be, your child wants a toy. Let's say you're at a store. Your child wants a toy and you say, I'm sorry, we can't buy this toy today. You have plenty of toys at home, whatever the reason is. And then he screams and starts throwing a fit. I want this toy so mad. He's so mad at you for not getting that toy. Passive parenting is just, fine, give him the toy. Let him have the toy. That is passive parenting. But positive and gentle parenting is hugging him and saying, I know that makes you feel frustrated. You really want that toy. It's okay to want that toy. Let me help you figure out how we can move through these emotions. Your child is gonna listen to you and understand your explanation so much more once he calms down. When he's in the heat of the moment, he's screaming, he's so upset. No amount of trying to like explain it away or trying to get him to be mature about it is gonna happen. What is gonna happen best is if you help him calm down first, then you can talk to him. And by helping him calm down in a loving way, he is so much more likely to be responsive and trust what you have to say. And it doesn't happen overnight. It definitely takes time. But once he sees that pattern of you being consistent, you're a strong rock for him, that will help him to respond in such a positive way. And I found that with Elvis so much that in the beginning when I started like implementing this stuff, he was like probably 2. It was a little bit hard at first, and then it was like after a while he understood, oh, mommy is consistent. Mommy is gonna love me no matter how I feel. Mommy is helping me how to respond to my emotions just by, like I said earlier, just stating your emotions and saying, this makes me feel frustrated. That alone can help release so much and lift like a weight off a child's shoulder. That's how I feel about tantrums. Your child his brain is still developing. His or her brain is still developing. It has a lot of developing to do, so be empathetic to that. So we are here to help guide them and not to punish them for their feelings and not knowing how to react. They don't know how to act with their emotions, so we're here to help balance that and show them this is how we can act to maintain calm and peace while feeling what we're feeling. I don't look at tantrums as a bad thing at all. Tantrums are a child having so much emotions, he doesn't know how to bear it. And if we help guide them and show them through our example how we bear things when we're having a lot of emotions, over time they will learn and those tantrums will go away and really be much lighter and much less, especially as they get older. Someone said, please cover gentle forms of punishment. Kids aren't always obedient, so how do we lovingly establish authority? So there's a couple things here that I just want to address. I don't look at myself as an authority, to be honest. I look at it as a symbiotic relationship and me being a helper to help guide him through his life and his development. I don't look at it as I'm the boss, you're the child. You're the one that's supposed to listen to what I say. I definitely don't look at it like that. Another thing is I don't use punishment. I really don't like to use punishment. Instead, I look at discipline. The purpose of punishment is to inflict penalty for an offense. The purpose of discipline is to train for correction and maturity. The focus on punishment is past wrongdoings, what you did wrong, what they did wrong just before or in the past. The focus on discipline is helping to correct for future acts. The feelings of punishment is anger and frustration, how to get my child to stop doing what they're doing or to do what I'm telling them to do. The feelings for discipline is concern of a loving parent on how to help guide them. The result of punishment is fear and insecurity, and the result of discipline is security and love. So if a child does something that they're not supposed to do, let's say they throw a basketball around the house and they keep hitting the picture frames and you say, stop doing that, don't throw the picture frames, you're not allowed to do that. And then they keep doing it. And then you say stop again, and they keep doing it. And you're like, why aren't they listening? So some parents would result to punishment, spanking, timeout, isolation, or hurtful words. That might teach your child not to do it again, but it'll teach them to not do it again out of fear for getting punished. But if you use discipline, which is, let me show you the same example. Let's say your child's throwing the basketball around the house. You say to him or her, don't throw the basketball around the house, you could really break something. And then they do it again. My general rule of thumb is if I say it once and they don't listen, the second time I come up to them, get on their level, touch them, look them in the eye, because a lot of times it's really easy to be, we're far away, we're busy doing something, cleaning the dishes, and they're doing something, you're like, stop, 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 stop doing that, right? And they're not listening from far away, because part of that is their development. They're focused on something else, they hear you kind of in the distance, but they're not really paying attention to it, or they don't think you're going to do anything. But if you're consistent with, if they don't listen the first time, come right up to them, or some people would just the very first time come right up to them, look them in the eye and say, son, daughter, it is against the rules to throw basketballs in the house because you could break something, and we must take good care of our things so we're not wasteful. And then you can say, if you throw basketballs again, we'll have to take the ball away for a while. So then you can give them another chance. If she does it again, throwing basketballs again, one punishment way would walk up, I'm so mad at you, I told you 5 times to not throw the basketball. This is going away forever. I'm taking this to donate it so you never get to play with it again. Or, and that instills fear in a child. Whereas something that would be following through with what you said, but still being loving, walking up to them calmly, politely, still intact, not losing your control. I see you're having a hard time listening. Let's take this basketball away for now and we'll try again tomorrow. And you take it away. And that is a natural consequence for what happened. He wasn't listening. He had the potential to break something in the house. So the basketball got taken away for a day. There was no fear. It was just, let's try this again tomorrow. So then by tomorrow he knows, I can't do that, otherwise the toy is going to get taken away. And it was handled in a loving manner, not yelling or screaming. Yeah, just like changing your perspective on how we react, staying calm, not being angry with aggressive words. But like if our parents were yelling at us all the time for everything we did, or just for things that they got mad about, that's just what we feel like we're supposed to do because that's what was done to us. So we must break that cycle, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my example for that. Alright, someone said, how should I respond to aggression? Gabrielle will angrily yell and hit. How do I gently communicate in the moment that those are not safe or acceptable behaviors? So much of gentle parenting is about avoiding aggressive behaviors from the beginning. I haven't found many tips on how to respond to and curb those behaviors once they've already started. That's a really good question. I found that like when my children are acting out, obviously when they're like 2 and 2.5, it's the very beginning of them like learning appropriate behaviors. In the moment, if your child's hitting another child, yelling, doing inappropriate aggressive behavior, just like the last example, get up to them, get on their level and say, I love you, I will not let you hit this person, or it is against the rules to yell. This is how we can still express how we're feeling, by staying calm. And you can say, that makes me feel angry, or I'm upset, and give them different things that they can say to help them calm down. The Daniel Tiger Show has this like little rhyme song that really helped me with Elvis when he was like 3 years old, 3.5. And so anytime he was mad, I would sing this song. When you're feeling so mad that you wanna roar, take a deep breath and count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes me feel so much better. Does that make you feel better? So that type of thing. And just modeling that behavior when you're upset, even though you might not need to do that, it'll help see that that's what you do to help calm down. Take her and remove her from the situation. Hold her and give her time in. This is something Rebecca Eanes recommended and explains thoroughly in the book about how time in is not just like coddling them or giving into them. It doesn't make them do their thing more because they think they'll get coddled. Instead, it helps a child feel loved and secure, and they want to listen to you more. And I truly found that to be true. Isolating my child did not help. It might promote them to not do the behavior again, but it was for like a short while, but it was out of fear. By consistently doing time in when they're having overwhelming emotions, hugging them, reading a book to them, whatever they need to help them calm down, showing that you love them, that really helps. Obviously, I can't cover every topic in this video. This video is probably already going to be so long, so that's why I highly recommend these books. And if there's a few topics that I didn't mention that you still want me to talk about, let me know. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment below, and maybe I'll do another gentle parenting video. Maybe I'll do like a live gentle parenting video on my Instagram or something like that. By the way, follow me on Instagram, Ellen Fisher. I hope you found this video helpful, and please leave a comment below and give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time.